All right, welcome back, guys. Sean here with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Happy Thanksgiving. Um, so in this video, I figure let's just do a nice little casual video here, talking about some of the highlights of coins that were released in 2023. Um, and just to let you know, there's going to be U.S. Mint products that we're going to cover. But also, most importantly, for a lot of you as well, we're also going to be talking about coins that were discovered this year in change, just in circulation. So we're going to talk a lot about which coins have been performing really well up to this point, which coins possibly you might want to target before we cross over into 2024, because I guarantee you it's going to be busy. The US Mint had already done a preliminary release of the 2024 calendar, and it's bonkers from a product volume perspective. I'm calling it kind of like the kitchen sink year, because they have a buttload of stuff that they're releasing next year. But we'll cover that topic on another day, probably before the calendar changes over to 2024. So let's go ahead and dive right in to these coins and U.S. Mint product that have been making some pretty good strides in the marketplace. People are talking about these, the collectability, the artwork, the design, things like that. We're going to start off with no big surprise here. The Armed Forces medals, all types, from the 2.5 ounce silver, the 1 ounce silver, and also the bronze type, have all done pretty well. The one targeted release that a lot of people go for, obviously, is the 2.5 ounce medals, primarily due to the fact that they are limited in production. We'll actually talk about one of them here, the U.S. Army, that had simply a mintage of only 10,000 pieces. Very scarce, very, very short supply there. But the first one that I wanted to bring up is the U.S. Navy 2023 medal. Of course, we've seen this design a few times before. They've made them for a few years. And, this was an item that was available on the U.S. Mint website for $85. So as you can see, they're selling for a little bit more than that. The only thing that people don't know, or they're not aware of, is that these are currently still available for the issue price on the US Mint website. But yet they're still selling for $20, $22 premium on eBay and various other places. For whatever reason, they're selling for this kind of money here online. And I don't know if these folks have an aversion to the US Mint and supporting them. I don't know. But you're going to see that just the base raw coins in their presentation box still selling for about $100 to $110. Graded mint state 70s, have been performing right around the same price as what they're selling for raw. So, I mean, if you had to balance one or the other, I'd probably do the graded coin because it's already graded, and you have a perfect 70. Here's one of those that did sell for pretty close to issue price, or issue price rather, $84.95, $5 for shipping. Here's a bronze example. All right, so it's got that nice bronze color. This was available for $20, and keep in mind the 1 ounce and the bronze metal have an unlimited mintage. It's kind of like mint on demand. So as people buy them, they have probably a par level for these things. They have so many of them made currently, and then once they get to a certain level, they'll reorder some for mintage on these. So there you go. I mean, they're not selling for a whole heck of a lot less than issue price. I mean, mint state 69s. I don't know why you would buy into something like that. It's not necessarily affordable, but it sells for just a few dollars under issue price. I probably the safe investment if you have to look at these as an investment, would be just to go ahead and buy a graded Mint State 70. But they're very pretty coins, and then we're going to see the same design released again in the future. The 2.5 ounce was not released in 2023. That was that's an exclusive weight of the U.S. Navy metal that was available in 2020. All right, not 23. So in 23 they only released the 1 ounce and the bronze. The bronze, surprisingly, you can make a few bucks on it, but yeah, overall, very robust sales here from this one, and it's certainly worth a mention as one of the. Again, everybody loves supporting the armed services of the U.S. and rightfully so. And then this is kind of like a way of showing and reciprocating on that, just with everything. So. Not too bad. Now, here's the one that I like. This one is actually very cool. It's the 2023 2.5 ounce U.S. Army medal. Very pretty design, by the way. Only 10,000 of these were minted. In case you needed a little bit of a refresher, it's got the Minuteman and then the soldier right there. All on one side since 1775. I mean, this is a really cool piece. The moment I saw this earlier in the year, and they only release 2.5 ounce, metal every year. The moment I saw this, I'm like, that is going to be hot, and it sold out. It sold out. I'm not going to say instantaneously. I think it took a day or two for this particular release to sell out, but this is gorgeous, and it kind of has that throwback to the bicentennial quarter, with the Minuteman on there. It's just really pretty, and this particular release, I believe, sold for $185. We could check the U.S. Mint website right here real quick. There it is. It released March 6th, $175. All right, so $175 for the U.S. Army medal. This one sold for $220. So you can see that they do command a little bit higher than what the issue price is, considering that none of these are being made anymore. They just have that 10,000 mintage, and that's it. But you can see that the prices are a little bit higher than issue. If you had one of these, keep in mind that these are going to appreciate in value over the course, and just keep an eye on it over the course of the next 2 to 3 years. The U.S. Navy 2.5 ouncer that released in 2020 has a value currently of $330 to $350, and they all kind of move in that direction after about 18 to 24 months. So these, my friends, are actually a very nice addition to your investment portfolio. And if you're a fan of our armed services, look no further. This is a great one to own right here. With that design, I think it's hot, and it's going to age very gracefully. Graded Mint State 70 metals of the 2.5 ounce variety sold for a lot of money. $350 to $400 is what I've seen them. This particular one is signed by Emily Damstra, who's the master designer at the Mint. Pretty cool. I mean, what else is there to say? This one is just a really great release. I couldn't afford the opportunity to get one myself because it did sell out. I jumped on like 2 days later, and it was all gone. So I saw it coming. I'll probably end up ordering one of these before the end of the year, as long as I could get it for around $220. I think that's the kind of like the safe play here with these. If you're able to afford an already graded, Mint State 70 like this one here, this was $250, but that was back October 1st. So almost 2 months ago for that one. And of course, how can we forget the Proof and Morgan release for this year? All right, so we have the regular uncirculated Morgan and Peace. We have the regular proof Morgan and Peace, and we also had just released the 2-coin reverse proof Morgan and Peace. All right, so we have these two, and they've done pretty well. Considering that they did release these 2 years ago with really hot fanfare. And then once the product got into people's hands, they begin to see the quality. Then, the overall sentiment on the program kind of waned. But they elected to wait 2 more years and released a whole other run of these things. They had the regular mid-state uncirculateds doing relatively well. You can pick up a really nice mid-state 70s set of both the Morgan and Peace for around $200 to $220. It's cool. I mean, these are beautiful coins. They are going to be making them year after year with different dates. So 2024, they've already announced it on the US Mint website as being another add-on to their product line for next year. So again, we're going to see more of these. They might throw in another variant, some sort of like enhanced reverse type affair, or something to that effect. We'll see. I'm sure they're going to promote and play it very similarly to what they're doing with the Silver Eagle program, right? So they'll have the regular bullion uncirculateds. They'll have the burnished, which they haven't done on the Morgan and Peace. We haven't seen them burnished yet. Reverse proof, regular proof, enhanced, things like that. We'll see how it goes, but I have no doubt in my mind that these are going to perform, just as well as you see here. There's going to be some sort of premium on graded pieces, but don't overpay for them, because it's not a whole lot more than the issue price that you're paying for them. And probably the best way to collect these is to buy graded examples. All right, so yeah, not too bad. And the mintage, I'd say bar none, is perfect on all of these. So don't go crazy on them. There's going to be plenty to fulfill demand, and I'm sure that as time goes on, overall production's just going to ramp up a little bit. This year it might be 400,000 pieces for that regular proof, but next year it might be 500,000, or maybe in 2 years or 3 years. I think they're really watching this closely to see how they're trending. Because believe it or not, I think the regular proofs are still available, but the reverse proof and the uncirculateds are sold out. So, what do they do? Because the regular proofs had a much higher mintage at 400,000. Do they scale that down back to 250,000 like the other two releases? I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe, they're kind of leveraging on the fact that the regular proofs might actually be kind of like their bread and butter variant out of the three. I don't know. It's pretty. Don't get me wrong. These are very pretty coins. And, they are going to, they're going to age as expected. Prices will rise as time goes on based off of the cost of, obtaining the raw planchets and, whatever material they need to produce these. So we'll wait and see. Just kind of enjoy it for what it is. Don't overpay for them, for both graded and raw sets and coins, because they're commanding a little bit more, 10-20% above and beyond issue price right now. There's just no reason to pay more than that. I also did a separate tab on nothing but reverse proof. As you can see, the issue price was $185. These are currently trading for around $210 to $230. There are companies and businesses that are grading these. These right here, for example. Don't know if these are in hand. A lot of them say pre-sale on them, which means they're still in the process of being graded at this point, but these would be cool to own as well. You can see that Perfect 70 coins, first day of issue, they're in that $300 to $350 mark. So, I'm sure those prices will settle down a little bit. They are going to continue on with the reverse proofs later on. All right, a couple coins that kind of made some headlines here this year that you can find in circulation. The first one, believe it or not, started out extremely slow. All right, there was nothing to find on the 2023 Edith Kanaka Ole quarter up until toward the tail end of the production run of these things, where people were beginning to find a really strong clash die on these. Okay, it's one of the best errors I've seen here in a few years. And one of the strongest, too, if you were able to find the Edith's name clashed on the obverse of these coins, right where Washington's ear and hairline is, and it looks like this, where you could see like most of Edith's first name, my goodness, that is an incredible find right there. And the prices have reflected that. The ones that look as good as this one have been selling for between $50 and $100. It really depends on circulation wear, how they look, how the strength of the clash. There have been lesser die clashes of this particular type that don't sell for nearly as much, maybe 10, $20. But you'll see that here momentarily. But this is, ladies and gentlemen, one of the big chase finds for the year. And here's one right here with a little bit of light clashing of Edith's first name in that same spot on the obverse. And then here's the more radical version of that. Believe it or not, folks, there's actually one that is much better than that, where you can see just about the whole entire first name of Miss Kanaka Ole. So, yeah, this is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're living, like in the Ohio, Indiana area, that's where a lot of these are being found currently. All right, and this is. I mean, we are still in the holidays. Today's Thanksgiving. I know some of you are going to need to scrimp and scrape for some extra cash. If you're living in these areas, I suggest you go to a bank and try and find some of these rolls. Maybe not specifically full brand new Edith Kanaka Ole quarter rolls. They're probably still out there. But just grab some rolls in general and then pull out the Edith quarters and then look through every single one of them. And I'm telling you, find them, you'll thank me later. These sell incredibly well. One of our friends of the channel, Kelly's Treasures, has found a grip of these and has been doing exceedingly well reselling them, and also giving some of it back to charity as well. So yeah, very beautiful. $128 here back in October 27th. Prices are kind of like all over the map. It really depends on the coin, the condition, and yeah, another good one. All right, so by no surprise, the biggest coin to find today with bearing a 2023 date has to be the 2023 Lincoln cents with the extra V on the bust. All right, this is a coin that's shaken up the coin community, the whole world in general. Yeah, rolls at one point were ridiculously selling for between $5 and $7. They've kind of settled down a little bit. I mean, if we looked at this one here, the 5 rolls, $12.99. You have to add the $4 for shipping in there, so that's $17. You're paying about $3 per roll if you have to buy these on the secondary market, and sometimes higher. But when we go down here, the big kind of like hot button with these has to be that PCGS, NGC, and Annex are all recognizing this variety. All right, a gentleman by the name of Mike Diamond, who was one of the renowned variety and error experts out there in numismatics, did an article in Coin World talking about this coin. And I think it was either Coin World or Numismatic News, one of the two. I don't want to misattribute the information, but he had done an article on or Error Scope, one of the three. Had done an article on this and had explained what it is, and you could find this anomaly on multiple coins, and because of that, it's kind of like open to floodgates to look at these pennies, and these coins by themselves without any grading have turned in between $30 and $100 each. And the big difference on these folks is going to be finding a coin that is of high grade. All right, so when I click into this one here, because I want to let you guys know what you're looking for. There's the coin right there. You're going to be looking for this extra V notch, which looks eerily close in size to the V in Victor David Brenner's initials, and that's why it's gained so much notoriety, so much desire to find these, is because of that right there, and the money on the secondary market has been phenomenal, and there's no other way of describing this right now. This particular one here, graded by NGC as a Mid-State 68 Red, is the top pop. This one here sold for $1,000, and there's been reports of other Mid-State 68s that have sold for around $1,100-$1,200. There was also another one that sold on Great Collections a few months ago for right above $1,100. So, if you're able to earn that mid-state 68 or higher, ideally through PCGS, because it's kind of untested, with PCGS, then that could be a coin that could be $1,500 to $2,000. But we haven't seen any yet on the secondary market. We could just go off of what we're seeing on NGC graded coins. So yeah, this one right here, a huge blockbuster. All right, and it has to look like this and not like this. This one just has like an errant kind of contact mark, and there have been attempts to kind of try and duplicate it, and they don't look good. This is something that's incredibly hard to do if it wasn't done by the U.S. Mint, operating team. Get this done. So yeah, that's what people are doing on these. They're buying them for $40 to $70. That's kind of like the going average, and then they're sending it off to the grading company. If they're able to get back a 66 or higher, they'll make money. All right, especially in 66 grades. You can see this one sold for $240. That particular coin probably would have netted about $100 bill of profit for the person that bought it. But they're not just doing one or two of them. They're buying 10, 20, 30 of them at a time and then sending them all off to the grading company, getting them attributed with the extra V, and then, they're reeling it in. I warned you guys about this too, that this was a practice that was going on 3, 4, 5 months ago, back when they first started the announcement of this attribution. It's a no-brainer. If there's free tendies to be made, I'm going to tell you about it, and here it is. And none of this is generally financial advice, but when something is so blatantly obvious, it has to be talked about. So yeah, there you go. That's the last kind of like big thing of 2023. A lot of great stuff. I mean, you're still making money on these last two coins, the Edith Kanaka Ole Clash and then the Extra V Lincoln. These are still very available out there in circulation if you want to look for them. And then, keep in mind again that the 2024 product schedule is live. It actually went live, I believe, either yesterday or the day before. But right off the rip, man, there's like 10 Harriet Tubman releases or something like that. 7. There's 7 of them. Yeah, because we've been talking about it with the live coin Q&A team. 7 Harriet Tubman releases. It seems a little bit overkill. But they have like multiple releases of every coin, and it's crazy. This is something that take your time, go through, look through it, just kind of, and this is all ramp up, I'm sure, to the 250th anniversary coin, the quarter that they want to release at $50 and dollar coin. So we'll see how that goes. We're only a couple years out from that, and it's gonna be huge. I'm sure they're going to do some pretty big circulation, fine rarity type stuff with that coin. We'll see. They should, because they had no problem doing it in 2019 and 2020 with great success. It got more people into the hobby. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Quick little roundabout on all the hottest 2023 product going right now. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I want to wish you guys a very, very nice, Happy Thanksgiving. You guys stay safe. Enjoy family. And that's going to go ahead and do it. I'll see you guys here, in a day or two with more hot coin content, videos, you name it. You take care. Love you guys.